Okay, so to start off today, we're going to open up our cases and look at the three different parts of the flute. This larger part is called the body, and this part is called the mouthpiece with the embouchure clip on it. This is the tailpiece, and before we set it up, let's just take out the head joint. So we're going to hold it like this with our right hand over here and left hand over here. And so the first step that we have to do is learning how to get the mouthpiece in the right position. So what we have to do is a method called plant and roll, where we plant our lips over the embouchure hole, like this. And then we roll it down. And so what it should feel like is we should feel the outer rim right here of the embouchure plate, the tone hole, on the bottom of our lip. So the bottom lip should be covering about a third of this hole.
Oh.
Just slightly lower like this. Good. So just slightly lower so that the lip is actually.
Well, hopefully you have a big lip.
So just the bottom of the lip covering about a third of the tone hole. And then to form our embouchure, we say two things. We say double M, so pure.
Pure.
Yeah, so your mouth is going to be slightly O-shaped, so pure.
Pure.
With a slight frown in the corners of the mouth. So the corners are going to be slightly lowered. Pure.
Pure.
And so once you got the embouchure set up, what you have to do is direct the air slightly downward. So one way to do that is to blow at the center of your palm. Can you do that? And then slowly direct the airstream down to the heel of your palm. So that's kind of what it should feel like when you're blowing with the flute.
That makes sense.
So if we try on the head joint, so plant and roll, feel on the bottom of the lip, and then blow it downward. Almost there. See, there we go. Okay, so now that we are able to blow through it, the next step is learning how to articulate, which is done with the tongue. You're tonguing it. So what it should be doing is the tongue should be hitting where the gum and the teeth meet at the top of the mouth. So you're gonna strike where it meets with the tongue. Yeah, so you're not gonna stop your airstream. You're gonna keep breathing, but you're just gonna stop the air while you're still blowing with the tongue. So. There we go. So now that we know how to do that, let's put it together. So the first thing that we have to keep in mind is when we're handling it, we're gonna hold it by this is called the barrel of the body. So we're gonna hold it by the barrel when we're setting it up. And so the head joint is attached to the side closest to the body. And so you twist it in, and then there should be a stamp, which is right here, and that should be, your flute doesn't actually have one. So there should be an arrow, and this would be the stamp, and it should be in the center of it, but this particular flute doesn't. So So this should be about right. And then when we're putting in the head joint, the side with the rod is the side that goes onto the flute. So you put that on. And the way you make sure it's set up correctly is the rod should be splitting these keys down the middle.
Like that?
Right, correct. So now we have to set up. So we can set the keys on the floor. And there are 3 points of contact with the flute that maintain stability. And that is the bottom of the chin, so it's going to be like this. So you should feel it contacting right there. And then the next is probably the hardest spot, and that's the base of the index knuckle. That's going to be roughly where this is. And it should be close to this thumb key. Correct. And so that's where that second point of contact is. And then the third point of contact is the right thumb, which is going to be below this key. So that's where our first finger goes. So the way we set up the hand is the thumb goes on this thumb key right here, the left hand, right here, left thumb. And then the first finger will go on this key. And then you skip a key, 2, and then the next key, 3. And the hand should be slightly C-shaped. So your finger should be attacking it from above like this.
My fingers don't like you.
So make sure, so you can just set the flute on top of your index finger like this, and then set your fingers on top. There we go. And then you can put the thumb up the thumb key. Good. And then your right hand finger should be flat, and so the middle 3 fingers are going to go on these keys. And then this is called the E flat key, and your pinky will go on that one. And then so make sure with your right hand the thumb is below the right index finger. Good. And so can you put it up with all 3 points of contact? Good. And so when we're playing, we need to make sure that the arms are away from the body. Not too bad, but you don't want your elbows in. So just make sure they're relaxed but away from the body. And then feet flat on the floor. And the flute tilted to the right and slightly downward. And then slightly downward like that. Right. So that's how you set up the flute. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Good job today.